Once again, it's on.
Good day, Albert.
Hello. Good day,
How's it
man.
going, man?
I'm good. How you doing? It's
I'm
a good
well, man.
sunny weekend.
Yeah. I'm in California. Where are you, bro?
Oh, I'm in Maryland.
Yeah. Sunny there, bro.
Oh, I'm in Maryland.
Yeah. Sunny there too.
Yep, it is.
Excellent.
Wow.
Excellent,
Okay.
man.
So what do we have today?
Well, you see what we're doing. What do you think? Is everything the way it seems?
Are all the answers hidden in plain sight? um, what like hidden in plain sight? Like, all the answers hidden in plain sight. Like, what does it mean for things to be hidden in plain sight? Like, hidden in such a way
Well,
that it's not
it
obvious.
well hidden in such a way that it's so obvious that you can't see it.
Oh, that is so obvious.
It's so obvious that it becomes almost invisible, especially if you've been either indoctrinated, educated in a certain direction, but the truth is right in front of you. But because you've been told something or you've been given a particular set of values, maybe since you were a little child, you can't
Mm.
see the truth in front of you. So that's what hidden in plain sight means. Can you think of anything that's hidden in plain sight?
Okay. Yes. I do. I think. But I'm not sure if it's hidden in plain sight. I think it's rather it's complex. For example, the idea that so many people in this world believe that there is a creator that created humans
Mm,
and the universe. So many
mm,
people, it's so obvious to them that there is a creator, and they confirm it. They say, they ask you the question, where do you think humans came from? And the conclusion is, of course, a creator. Of course, God created humans. And based on my studies and my research and my understanding of the world, I have come to realize that, oh no, it's the answer is, it's not really how many people think. There are other factors in place, and I think that it's not easy for people to fight off some of this, like the belief in God. I think it's not it's not in plain sight. I think on the contrary, it's so hard to fight it off because of the factors, the factors that influence like the idea of a belief in God is so overwhelming that most people cannot help themselves but believe that there is a God. It takes a certain kind of digging and cognitive push and emotional resilience and curiosity to to like sort of find out what is really at the bottom of reality. And so the example that I brought
Hey,
up, I
what's up?
think I think hello, I think it's the answer is not hidden in plain sight. It takes some cognitive work to get to what I would describe as what is closer to the real answer.
Let me ask you, Albert, was there ever a time in your life that you did believe that there was a God?
Yes,
Yo,
I grew up in my mom is Protestant Christian, Presbyterian specifically, and I grew up in a family house where almost everyone was some kind of a Christian. The church wasn't. I mean, some like 2 weeks in a month, some people would go to church. It wasn't like any fundamentalists like go to church every Sunday. Like, but it's just understood that church is a good thing. Obviously, God exists. Obviously, God exists. Um, Jesus is the way, the truth, and some of those things were just there, and everyone in the society, in the community where I grew up, seems to just say, "Oh, that's a fact. It's so obvious." Then we move on to other things. But when I travel out of my country. I went to Turkey. I experienced a completely different religion, completely different culture, my own challenges, my understanding. I have a background in medical science and engineering, electrical electronics engineering, and my interest in physics. All of those things uh, influence my path, my journey. But yes, indeed, I was actually, I used to speak in tongues. I've read,
Wow.
yes, I've read, I've read the surprisingly right. I've read the entire New Testament. So yeah, um, it's strange.
Okay. I mean, hey, way to start the conversation, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to spread it around, but hang out, Albert. You know how we do.
yeah.
Different. You there? Different?
How's it going? How's it going?
It's well, man. How are you today, bro?
I'm good. I'm vibrational, very vibrational.
Good to
Um,
know, man.
I want to speak on the like you were saying, it's obvious in plain sight. That kind of triggered me because I don't think it's in plain sight. I think it's the emotions. I think it's the denial. You know, they see the information, but how they feel makes them ignorant to the information. You know, you could damn near spoon feed them it, and because how they feel, they won't swallow it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can definitely smoke a bag of that. Hang out, man. I'm going to go around the room and then we're going to open it up. J7, my good friend J7.
Hey, what's good, bro? Long time no see.
Exactly, man. How are you, man?
Been pretty good. Just chilling,
Good
getting out in
deal.
nature.
Good deal. Oh, nature is always a good thing to
Yeah,
kind of
for sure.
befriend, right?
Definitely got to connect with nature, raise that vibration. It's the best way to do it, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
yeah. I agree with that. So, what are you thinking about this particular topic? Are all the answers hidden in plain sight?
I wouldn't say all of them, because, like, you kind of got to research and dig and, like, go within yourself to really find, like, the real truth. It's, it's like, I don't know, motivation, and there's, like, different kinds of people. There's those that are spiritual, and then there's those that are kind of, like, programmed, I guess, and in the matrix. And I'm glad that you're talking about this because it's kind of been like a struggle of mine is being like, I feel in my terms and definition, awake and enlightened and trying to like get people to understand. It's like their minds are shut off and their imagination is just dull and their pineal gland is calcified. At least that's what I think.
Hmm.
Like I think that's how most of society is now, and they're all programmed and just following the code at like sheeple, and it's really annoying because like I try and speak my truth and show people the like the truth about the universe and vibrations and stuff like that, and they just think it's woo woo, and I don't think it's hidden from them in any way, but that they I don't know. It's like they deny it because like that one guy said their feelings and stuff. That there's other things that probably drive the whole being asleep and blind thing. I don't know. If you're born that way or if you have to give in to like the program or give in to like the world or whatever and the brainwash. But I don't know. I guess that's the way I
I
Okay.
just
see it.
want I just want to
Yeah,
add
yeah,
to what
yeah.
you're
Listen.
saying because I was just saying, like, see, even in a debate, like, if he has his truth and I have my truth, my emotions will probably drop him. My emotions will probably block him. My emotions will probably attack him instead of the argument. And we never get nowhere because these emotions, instead of just saying, let's deal with the information and not how we feel about the information.
Mm-hmm. It's like some people
Yeah.
would say the truth hurts. I mean, there's a lot of things that I've
That
known
part.
to be true that I really wish I didn't know to be true, but there's no going back now. And I think that's
Oh, yeah. The truth can definitely change the paradigm, especially if you were under the assumption of one particular truth and you found out a more objective truth. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they could earthquake your sensibility.
that's the whole concept of the Matrix, and people I think are just comfortable in the Matrix in their fantasy land, and it takes work and it takes a lot of fighting the darkness and fighting and shadow working with your own stuff to really find it out. And most people don't do that stuff, and they're not willing to do the work and dig deep within themselves and really find the truth and be open-minded to other people's opinions and like really dig deep into stuff and try and understand it.
Indeed,
What's the
indeed.
truth?
Let me let Canalingua. Canalingua.
You got it. That's very
Okay,
good.
cool.
Very good. People
How's it
must
going, man?
good. Thanks. Very good.
Yeah, good
today.
to know, man. Yeah. What are you thinking about this particular topic?
I feel like I've been in that picture. I feel like I've seen an
That's
alien
hilarious.
before. Sarah
What do you
knows.
mean? What alien? What do you mean an alien? What are you talking about? What alien? I see business
Sarah,
people. What are you talking about?
Sarah Lynn knows
What's
what
he
I'm talking
talking about? What
That's
is he
just a
talking
lawyer.
about?
That's just
I
a
don't see
lawyer.
anything strange. I see lawyers and accountants and what do you mean?
Yeah, right. No, I mean it was
Don't
strange.
start protecting.
Strange
Don't start
experience.
protecting now.
It was a strange experience one day. I was working at the bike shop and I noticed that everybody stopped walking. Like everybody froze except this one guy. And he came into the shop and he asked me where the CVS was. And then he's like, "Is it on the corner?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then he left. And as he walked away, everybody else started moving again.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where was that? What dimension? Like where were you at? Where was that?
You'd think it would be
Did you
somewhere
take
in
your
the middle of
medication that
nowhere.
day?
That's it. It sounds crazy, right? You'd think it would be somewhere in the middle of nowhere too. It was on Miami Beach.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Busy Miami Beach. Just regular day. I worked there, same place for
Where they
5
said the mall was overrun by aliens or something.
years. I don't know. That was just a personal experience I had one time.
So what are your thoughts? Do you think that things can be right in front of our faces and we're just oblivious? We're just kind of blind to them,
I don't think it's
or
about
the other way?
It's about like conceptualizing it, right? Because you could see things that are right in your face. Things are in our face every day, and it's like hidden in plain sight. But it's just because you've never talked to anybody that's conceptualized it before in a way that makes sense to you.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yag, are you there, Yag?
Yes, I'm here, mate. How are you guys?
Well, man, I'm well. I hope everyone else is too. It's been a nice
Well,
day here in Southern California.
I think after I say this, you guys will cut me off, but it doesn't matter because everything is in plain sight every day you wake up. The time you open your eyes, it's reality. We look too deep. We think that something is. It's nearly like you can say, it's mental illness. Looking for something that's not there. It's reality is it. That is it. There's nothing else but reality. And if we keep looking for something that's not there, we will never fix ourselves because we forgetting about what is really there, and we're looking too deep for this gland, for this thing that's not there.
What's real and what's not, though?
Reality is what you see, what you smell, what you feel, what you really know. It's no, you can't believe because you don't know that. That's a fantasy. That's a dream.
I have a question. You said reality is what you feel. Reality is not always what you feel.
Reality is what you see, what you smell, what you can touch. That's what I meant by feel. When I can touch something and I know the feel of it, that's reality. When I taste something, put it in my mouth. When I see something, like I know my mom. I don't believe I know my mom. I know my mom. Like
1 second, different. Let him land. Go ahead, Yak.
I don't know Jesus Christ, because I've never met him, I've never seen him. It's a belief, it's a fantasy that someone's planted in my head from the day I started going to school. I land there, right there and then. I leave it for you guys to
What?
understand. I'm sorry to break your. There you go. Anything?
No, it's all five senses. It's not just one of the senses. This is why
Yes, it's all.
consciousness is everything, because consciousness is awareness, and awareness is five senses. And as if you're missing one of those senses, reality can be altered. So these five senses is what makes us know what's truth and what's not. But all five of them working together, though, not just one of them.
I think that's kind of the difference. One of
But
the
it's been corrupted. It's been corrupted through the education that we have been indoctrinated in, and that education has been twisted so many times by the so-called people that's been running the world for the last 400 years. And this
In
is
my opinion, the five senses are just 50% of it. It maybe even less.
Well done, sir. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, good,
you
good.
have like 10, you
Let
have
me
like
let me
10
go to
senses.
Jared really quick, you guys. Let me go to Jared. How's it going, Jared?
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, man. So, is it hidden in plain sight, Jared, or is it as Jag says? Is it just as it seems?
Both. I think
Oh,
I think everybody that has mentioned everything has collectively been right in their own right. And that's kind of the issue is the knowledge has been so misconstrued that you can believe in the same exact thing that I believe and yet we're arguing and it's honestly sometimes when as I've grown older and taken a step back and I don't argue. I just try to level with people and be like, okay, if I'm having like a more let's say conspiracy theory or religious conversation that what do you believe? Like I want to understand what you believe. It's because a lot of the times it's not even that it's just different. Like a lot of paganism religions are different but the same as other religions and like Christianity. So they're used to help and contradict each other. It's like there is a definitive good and there is a definitive evil, and we all are like what's the word, not conscribed, but like we all have enshrined in us a morality to some extent that if you get 100 people in a room and they do something and 100 people say that's wrong, then it's probably you shouldn't do it, you know what I mean? And it shouldn't be the one or two people that say it's okay that should be writing the laws. And as Yag Losi, sorry I'm butchering the pronunciation, I apologize, but as you said, the people who have been running the world for the past 400 years, no, it's the people who have been running the world since the beginning. It's the opposition of all that is good. And if you really think about it, religions shouldn't be arguing amongst themselves. I've read the Quran, I've read anything, but my final conclusion is that Jesus is God. But that is my reality, so that is what I decide to have my faith in with free will, which nobody can take that away from you, and no one should take away from anything that you believe with your whole heart and have faith in, and that's regardless of if it's Jesus or not. And that's a lot of the problems with people who preach Christianity, is they're preaching with big red letters, telling everybody they're going to go to hell. No, that's you have to leave the conviction up to them. That's God's job. If you are actively walking with the Holy Spirit, you should feel convicted. So there's no one that makes me angrier than a hypocrite that is preaching the love of Jesus Christ, because it is the most frustrating thing. Because at the end of the day, they are actively targeting people who are Christians, and to the point where it's just like, what's like? But then Christians on the other side of the world are doing other things that they're using to justify. And it's the same thing. It's not just even Christianity. It's every single religion in one way or another is going through something, every belief, and it's just what you see is what you believe to a certain extent in a minimalistic level. That is reality, yes, but reality, as different said, goes beyond that. It goes beyond to our five senses, and then as another person said, it goes even beyond those five senses for and I think everybody has access to that beyond, but it's just about wanting to be able, it's about being able to look in the mirror every single day. And in my world, in my belief, in my faith, I would describe it as picking up my cross every day. Like I said,
Jared, let me, if I could dance with you a little bit on one thing you said a little while ago. You mentioned,
yes,
speaking of reality, you mentioned if 100 people were in a room, you made an analogy that if they came to a consensus, then it must be the truth. Did I hear that correctly?
yes, and I mean, statistically, like, I'm not looking to throw scripture in people's faces. You know what I've recently, because if you look at my page, it's
Well,
not
let me dance with you. We can go back and forth. I wanted to
okay.
get that point to make sure I
Yes,
heard that
yes.
right. So
That
I would challenge that a little, Jared, and I would say that, depending on the culture and the era, man, like women may not like that consensus of those 100 people, and or people of quote unquote color might not like that consensus of different peoples and different eras. You see what I'm getting at? If you go 200 years from now, the consensus is that I can't hold this conversation with you. You see, the consensus would be that I must put my head down if I walk past you, which is beyond ridiculous, of course. But that would be the consensus, and dare I say, the law. And so 100 men might say, what is he doing talking directly to Jared, looking him straight in his face, looking him in his eye, being a man to man, having a man to man conversation when he's only 3/5 of a man? You see? So that's the only pushback I had. I don't really have a problem with anything else you said, but when we get into the mob or the 100 people having the correct consensus on any particular issue, man, I don't know. There's 100 idiots every 100 blocks.
And then you said no one could change your mind about how you feel about Jesus. You see what I mean? So no matter how much information
Well,
I put
I'm not even going at, I'm not going at his religion, different.
I'm just saying
I'm
no, I
going
wasn't
just
doing
at
that. Forget
the,
his religion.
because,
Forget his
you're
religion.
pushing
Just
everything
forget
I
his
said.
religion. Just the information. Forget his religion. Just
yeah,
information.
it's more
Put
about
him in front of
it's more
somebody.
about the equation that he put out about 100 people must be right about a particular thing. I would just challenge you on that. You listen,
Well,
believe
I
what
think
you may, bro. Go on.
if I think it's a basic things though. Like I'm not thinking like, well, they how they that's obviously a perception, and that's why the world is the way it is. I mean, I would be it would be very ignorant,
Can I interrupt
willfully
you
of
for a
me
second, mate? You
to
mean to
say
tell
that
me,
doesn't. But I'm saying like more on the serious matters that I'm not going to directly say on TikTok.
Okay, go ahead, Yak,
Jared,
and then I'll go to you
Jared,
different. Go ahead, Yak.
Jared, you mean to tell me that if there's 100 people gathered in one spot and they can see that something is happening, say there's 100 and 99 of those people say, no, that's not happening. So does that mean that one person is seeing things?
And I guess that's where we have faith and where we have people who in the doubt. I mean that's the thing. If there was 100 people
Isn't
that
it
saw it, but
pertinent?
is there
If I can
100
dance
people
for
that
both of
don't
you,
see it?
if I can dance for both of you, hold on one second, guys. Hey, guys, hold on one second. 1 second, guys. If I can dance with all of you, and then I want Sarah to get in here too, but if I can dance with all of you on this particular point, especially at this point in time in our maturation as a species, right? Don't we have enough information to realize that the next man's information must be vetted? It must be researched. It must be vetted again. Someone said it earlier. If I believe you, isn't that where the wormhole begins? If I believe you and I don't do my own research. So when we have those 100 people in that room, or the 99, and they come to a consensus, and they're looking at the one saying, "No, you're wrong." Listen, Is it, isn't it pertinent that everyone, all 100, do their research?
Well,
Because you would
yes.
have found, go on, I'm going.
Yes, I mean, we're so what are we talking? I mean, I guess then it depends on what we're talking about, of course. But what if I said I can mathematically prove to you that, as statistically, if anyone were to ever have been God in the flesh, Jesus would have been it. I mean, and then
Here's the thing: if you can
either
prove it,
it's
Jared, that's
almost
the whole
either
point.
him.
That's
No,
It's the
science.
same.
If you can prove it, then I'm going to listen. I'm going to give you an ear. But you know
all
what
you
I
have
have
to
to do?
do.
You know what science? Hold on one second. You know what science also does? When you show me your theorem, when you show me your hypothesis, science, as a scientist, I must then go and experiment to make sure that your hypothesis is true.
And you're
So it
speaking
still
down to
won't
me as
just
if
be
I
it
don't
still
already
won't just be
understand
your
your
word.
processes.
Yes.
It's like I
It's
don't
like
even
the 99
understand the
people,
processes
all
that
of the
I'm.
100 people looking at the color red, and then 99% of them say, okay, we'll change it to blue, but they all know it's red. So now red has now have a new name. It's blue. Does that make sense to you guys?
No, because the blue and the red were created by someone like, listen, one of the questions I had is when the last time you saw a white or black person, Yak? When is the last time you saw a white person or a black person, Yak?
Every day. I never see a white person because, and I don't see black people. I see brown. I just see people.
Well, so wait. Let's get these lines straight. I specifically asked when the last time you saw a white person or a black person. When was the last time?
uh,
Today.
Today, I'm black, so I see myself. Unless I'm white, because 99% of the people say I'm white, then I'll have to be white, even though I know I'm black.
So, yeah, I guess the point I'm trying to get at is there are no white people. There are no black people. There are pink people. There are brown people.
Correct.
But you've never met a black person. You've never met one.
No, I've
Like
never met
like
one.
the
But in the context of the language of today, we
but
are
again,
known.
that's the point. That's the point. Who is creating context and who is following context? This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where
Absolutely.
things are hidden in plain sight. You just called yourself white and black, so I'm kind of confused. But if you call yourself black, that's something that someone else created. If you did any research and looked at some crayons, you'd realize, oh, I'm not black. I'm more brown or I'm beige. And Sarah is pink. Look at Sarah. She's pink. You can see it.
There
Totally
you go.
am.
And there's nothing wrong with being pink, right? There's nothing wrong with being brown. But here's the deal. We've taken on the moniker that we didn't create or author. What is that? Are we grown? You didn't author black and white, yet you contend to be such. Hidden in plain sight, you're brown, but you call yourself black and then white. So I got confused. Sarah, let me let Sarah in here, guys. I know you guys are chomping at
When
the
I
bit.
when
It's
I
a
when
good
I
one. We're
call
going to have a good
myself
one.
black and white, I was trying to say that I am neither. I am a person. I
Oh, I
am a
see.
man.
I see. Yeah, and I would agree with that. I would go with you on that. But I was just making the point about the 100 people. If we can take it back to the root of the argument, the 100 people are not to be trusted. What do you mean? I'm a grown man. I'm an elder. I'm a wise man. I'm not trusting 1,000 people. I am going out into
Absolutely.
the field and doing my research. It's a
I
must.
am with
It's
you
a
on that.
must. Yeah, yeah. Sarah,
Yes.
hello.
Hello.
I
Do
should
I
say
agree
good
with your
day. Good day.
prompt?
Yeah. What do you
Do I
think about
agree
that?
with your prompt? Well, I agree with your prompt, but there's a misspelling of the word plain.
Uh-oh, Jesus Christ. Spell check and all that other stuff. Jeez,
No,
give
no,
me a
no,
second.
no.
I want to get it
Well,
Who
together.
said
well,
well
well,
if we all agree
Hey
that the
guys, I
spelling is
gotta
right,
jump.
then it's
guys,
right.
I'll be back
Let's
later.
all agree that the
Thanks.
spelling is right, then it's right.
it's not right because plain sight and plain sight are two different words. There's
But
two
if we
different
all agree
words.
here that the spelling is right, it's right.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's
we're
100
going
people,
off of
Sarah.
what the common definition of the word PLAIN and PLANE is. They're very different things. PLANE could be an aircraft, but it can also be a
Do you
space of
understand what?
existence.
But you understand the in the context that it's put in, right?
But plain would
Well,
be
there
something
is no
normal,
context.
right? Or every
Well,
day.
it
Plain
could
would be
be.
something.
It could be if you spell it
Okay.
that way, but if you spell it PLANE, that is a different type of plane. So to go outside and learn the world outside, you have to go inside of self. That's where those planes exist. That's where we strip down emotions. That's where we strip down
You gotta
conditions that are
love
placed
women.
on us by
You
society.
have to love women. You have to love them. You have to love them.
Don't break her down. I mean, yes, she's a lovely woman, and I love her that way. But I mean, trust and believe, her mind is. Her mind doesn't really have a gender. I can put it that way. I mean, we call her a her because she represents as a her, and I mean, I'm not one of those cats, but she's she ain't here for nothing. I promise you that. None of you are here for nothing. Everybody here has a particular grand point of view that I've spoken to before. Hey, I haven't spoken to you, Yak, but I've spoken to everyone else before, so I kind of know what I'm dealing with. Mr. Adept.
You like my new profile pic?
Yeah, but I'm gonna out us right now, man. Sarah, Adept got at me because of some beef on Jordan's
Oh my God.
platform a
I
few
didn't
days.
get
Oh
it.
yeah, bruh,
I
bruh,
did not
bruh.
get
What do
at
you?
you.
I mean,
I
I
was
love you. That's
asking
why.
for,
That's well. I
okay.
mean, but you got at me,
Get
and it was
him.
No,
Get
I'm
him.
trying
Sarah.
Get
to
him.
understand the context and get both perspectives and understand
Well, Sarah
get the
was
full
there.
picture.
Sarah was there,
Okay.
and I was on my best behavior. But I'm just me, bro. Like you know my
I
temperament. I'm
know.
not really
I
one
know.
to, and I'm pretty much loving of everyone. And I give the energy that I get. That's the best way I can put it. And I'm a mofo if I get some other energy. I mean, come on, like trust and believe. Philadelphia raised me well. I mean, I'm not there now, but man, you know. The tough streets of North Philadelphia gave me what I needed intellectually and physically at times. So, but no, it's all good, brother. I love you. I love you, man.
And
You know what I'm
likewise,
saying? And
again, because I
yeah,
understand you, and you're the brother, like literally, and knowing how you are, that's why it didn't make sense, and the way she was explaining it. But like, obviously, I'm not going to disregard from her standpoint, but that's why I wanted to ask and address you and get your
yes,
side of
sir.
the thing, because again, I'm very objective. I don't like to just take sides or favoritism, and it's a hard position to put me in because obviously that's my girl, and then you're my boy, and I'm like, I don't know
Of
about
course,
any of
of
this.
course. Listen, the more down low said though, can y'all shut up and let Sarah finish speaking? Shit, that's hilarious, and I agree. Look, the topic is hidden in plain sight, so I chose to put that out in plain sight. You see what I did there? You see.
Funny.
Yes. So it's a theme, but no, go on. Give us your understanding of what this is all about, and then I'll let Sarah continue because someone is like, let Sarah speak.
Um, well, as I've said in the comments, I would say yes and no, but then technically that would mean no because then all is not in plain sight. Now, is a lot? Oh, most definitely. It's like right there, and people just miss like 80 to 90% of it, probably more than that,
Yeah,
90s. But there's still stuff that is not hidden in plain sight because there is things that just you can't put out there, certain truths. This is where you get more into the whole esoteric realm of things, understanding
yeah,
that understanding that stuff. You can't put it out in any kind of way. That's not how you can learn or come to. You can't have that kind of information revealed to you. you know it's something that you have to come into a knowing of. So that's
Let me
there's
let me
that.
ask you this, Adept.
Hmm.
Just speaking to the topic, whenever I see a picture of this particular character named Jesus, there is a sun, or better referred to as a halo, behind his head. Like, so this is an example. Again, to some it's a halo. To others, it might be the sun in our skies. What say you about that type of image? And is anything hidden in plain sight in those images, or am I just? I don't. I'm
it,
just
it,
asking
it,
questions.
Can I
it's
speak on
very
that?
telling, but it's the cognitive bias. It's the cognitive bias, or no, cognitive dissonance. Yeah, the cognitive dissonance that certain believers just refuse adamantly to the death that they will not
Problem in this world
believe
is the
any
word
other
believe.
narrative.
They should get rid of the word believe because believe is a
Oh,
fucking bullshit thing.
oh.
But
Go ahead, different,
but
different. You had something, or go ahead to Dep, and then you
Well,
different. Go ahead to
yeah,
Dep.
yes, I have something very profound, that might
Uh
just,
oh.
have him go into his emotions. Okay, do you know the character Xerxes?
I
No, no
don't.
one knows Xerxes.
I
Okay,
don't.
Xerxes was the guy that dressed himself as a god king, and Leonidas showed that a god king can bleed at the end of the day of the 300. So I called Jesus Xerxes because he fall victim to society like everybody else does. The bright lights, turn you into a monster. The fame will make you think that you're a god king. You start to dress yourself as a god king, and people don't understand the crown that Jesus wore was because he dressed himself up as a god king. So they crowned him of thorns because
I'm
you
a
are
God
no
King,
god
so
king.
what? I'm a
You're
God
just a
King. What's up?
mere mortal like the rest of us. I told you he was going to get in
No.
his feelings. You see, I told you he was going to get in his feelings.
What
Let me
feeling?
finish, guy. Let me finish.
Wait,
Let
oh,
me
this a
finish, my
feeling?
guy.
Okay.
Let me finish. So, he came, God came pure and light, just like every human being born in innocence, so to speak. And he says, I am only the messenger. The word is God. And I'm only here to
Mm.
bring the word. And only the word is what you should believe in. Then the guy started getting conceited and say, drink of my blood and eat of my
What
flesh
is the
to
word?
get to God. Then he started to say, I create miracles. No, son. God creates miracles through you. You are only the vessel. You are not God. You are
I
only
just
the
want to
vessel
say,
that God.
I just want to say, from my point of view, drinking blood and eating of the body is rather didyish to me. But that's just me. It's just me. Uh, my man Universal is in the building. Uni, you there?
Hey, Jordan.
What up with it?
What up with it? So you see what we're doing. Is there anything hidden in plain sight, Uni, or is it all as it seems to be?
Yeah, I got an answer for you. Just give me like 5 seconds.
Got you, got you. Let me go to Gerald real quick. Gerard, I'm sorry, Gerard. Gerard, you there?
Yes, sir. How you doing, brother?
I'm well, man. How are you, man?
Man, I'm living a dream. I'm living a dream. I love
Hey,
content.
hey, that's it. That's it right there, man. My company's called Reality. It's your reality and your dream merged. I'm with you. So what do you think about this, man? Are the answers hidden in plain sight?
Well, I just chimed in, so I can't say that I know all the topics that's going on, but there is nothing important in this world in plain sight. If you are a grown adult and you've
Mm,
been paying attention your whole life, you know everything important is hidden, right? All the important laws
mm.
are buried in the law books. Everything in plain sight is nonsense. I hate to say it, and you were hitting it just a minute ago. I grew up in the church. I was a youth pastor, did all of that. I was a deacon in
Yeah.
training, trustee, had all the offices. And once I realized the church was run like a business, I kind of stepped away because when I devoted my life to Christ, I actually believed in what I was saying. And as a grown man, like I go back, and one of the things I do think about is what you just said. Every day in communion, the first of the month, we'd sit there and pretend, we'd walk through psychologically what it was like for Christ to go through being hung on a cross, dragged through the streets,
Mm.
strung up, and now
Uh
we're
oh.
drinking his blood and eating his
Uh oh.
body. That is nothing more than demonic. That is
Yo.
100%, the act of some sort of an evil ideological vampire or some nonsense. But there is
Mm.
no way that anybody left this planet and want you to just think about the worst moment of their life, them being crucified on the cross. So we're lost, brother. And what you just said was
Mm.
spot on. People need to think a
Mm.
lot more. When I go back to the Bible and I land my plane on this, I mean, I still do read scripture here and there. But when you read scripture, you should probably think about the fact that one, the Bible's an incomplete library of scrolls. That's number one. And two, those scrolls are full of representations of a lot of things, right? Don't get me wrong. God is in, scripture because God, whatever God is, and I don't know, it's in everything. And I
Yeah.
think you're a God. And I think we're all pieces of that God. But also, you got a lot of nonsense in those scriptures that were written by men. You have other things in there, in my opinion, came from things that aren't from this planet. And only I think now in this generation we're starting to realize that a lot of things in the ancient past were interactions with creatures that were not from here. Where they from? I don't know. In my life, brother,
The
and
alien
everybody on the
theory.
panel, I've evolved to the point where I'm honest with myself that I'll be honest with what I know to be a fact and what I believe. And if I believe something, I'm gonna say, well, this is what I believe. But I'm not gonna no longer take my beliefs and pretend as though they're fact. That led us astray.
That's evolution. Sounds like evolution to me. Before I go to Universal, the dragon. Are you there, the dragon? Drag on.
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm right here.
No, you all good. How's it going, man?
Just chilling out. That's pretty good for me.
Yeah. Well, chilling is a word created by the hip hop lexicon within the past 50 years. And yes, it
Yeah,
means to
I'm
hang out and
51,
be
if that's
cool.
what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. I'm 55. So, we're from the same era, bro. What do you think about this question, man? Are all the answers hidden in plain sight
But I
or
think there's
not?
infinite. I think they're infinite. So even if they're in plain sight, you're still not going to get all of them.
Okay. So, in other words, there's infinite answers to infinite questions, and we only have a few questions even to even have answers. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, so you discover things forever, basically. That's my point.
Okay, I'm digging it. Uni, you there? Universal, Mr. Theory,
Yo,
Skitty
what's
Mob.
poppin'? No,
Hey,
who's that
uh,
peeking out my window? Pow!
yeah, nobody. Now,
Nobody
what?
now.
Listen, look here.
Nobody now.
You got to be from certain eras to know certain things, man. Okay. Go ahead. What
So
you got, man? You got the floor, man.
I would ask you, right? I would ask you, what was the first book that was ever created?
Man.
You got it.
I would say something out of Samaria, but I don't know. What we talking about? A book with a binder? Yeah, like, are we talking about scrolls? Are we talking about tablet material? Are we talking about
It's
hieroglyphs?
nature.
Exactly.
Okay.
If nature is the first book, right? Like imagine nature is the scroll of the creator. So if we are in the creator's image, not only are we the scroll, but we're the
Uh-oh.
scribe.
Uh-oh.
So I would argue that if we're talking about it being in plain sight, how do you think the scribes of earth ever scribbled anything down, right? Like where did they get it from before there were any manuscripts to
Right.
copy or to read and study and research? Where did the hieroglyphs come from? Where did
The Nataru. I would say the Nataru.
Yes, but they come from the imaginal space. They come from
Yeah.
the conceptual capacity of the human mind to extrapolate from plain sight. Nature's always speaking to us. Can we read it? This is the book of the initiates. The initiate becomes their own guru when they reach the level of being able to read directly into nature. But up until that point, you need to be initiated. You need to seek out the mysteries and you need to find gurus and sages and prophets and masters and practitioners and books. And, you need to have something more tangible until you can become the intangible, right?
Bars.
So I would argue, yes, obviously, all of the answers are in plain sight, just like all of the questions are in plain sight, right?
Gangster.
Yeah. So that would be my
And
answer.
those that want to keep pushing this false New Age psyop narrative of extraterrestrials and the Anunnaki being literal gods that came to the planet. This is a false narrative that was perpetuated by Zecharia Sitchin, who pieced together his very erroneous and irrational interpretations of ancient texts and the Sumerian texts. With he did not interpret any of the texts properly. Every scholar, historian, academic, and even within the mystery traditions have refuted his false claims. And this is a narrative that was perpetuated by charlatans such as Billy Carson, who don't know anything about the mysteries and bastardize and corrupt them with all these new age narratives. If anything, these guys are psyop plants in some kind of way, or they just became public because people liked them a lot and they just rose to fame, and now everyone's just parroting the same narratives that they have pushed. Enlil and Enki have never been literal gods. No ancient mythological stories of gods and goddesses were ever literal. They were anthropomorphic symbols of universal principles and laws of nature and certain faculties and aspects of our own consciousness, as above, so below. They represented different facets or aspects of creation in the macrocosm and the microcosm. They were never literal. That is a false narrative and a huge misinformation propagandic narrative that's been going on in the modern era. And
Adept, someone's challenging you just a bit down in the comments. The Moor is saying using the word charlatan and having a picture of a king cut as your profile picture is crazy. What say you about that?
I was a charlatan. Do you know anything about me and what I do know and why I have that image in the first place? And again, because these individuals are not people who are initiated or initiates in themselves into the mystery school traditions. That's why I say there are charlatans, because every true and genuine initiate, even when they go over Masonic teachings, they corrupt and twist it on so many levels. I used to like Billy Carson for a while until I started catching his lies and his little misinformation, his half truths, and the way he tries to blend, he tries to push this ancient alien astronaut theorist narrative so wholeheartedly, like, and so once I started catching little bit of lies trickle here and there, then he just got called out by that what's his name, something Huff, that Christian dude on that podcast that basically destroyed him and called him out on his BS. Even though Wesley Huff, there you go, Wesley Huff. Now, granted, there's some things you could say about Wesley Huff, because now this takes us to the whole narrative of Christianity itself, but that's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, so it's like,
well, we got some lines drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm all about it. We got some lines drawn. That's where we can get to.
Did something just happen?
Oh, I thought I got paused. Everything got quiet.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought there was a problem
my
with
bad.
like TikTok
Guess
or
what?
something.
Guess what? I was talking the whole time, but I was on mute. You see how that works?
We all thought it was TikTok.
No, and then I was trying to get Jared to speak, and so I'm talking to Jared, thinking he can't hear me, and he can't hear me. Then I thought he was okay. Cool. Okay, we're back. So, but I do have another question for you all. So, who would you all say, or what would you say is the light of the world, just in terms of things being hidden in plain sight? Oh,
Are you going in a specific order?
no. Well, I mean, we can start with you, Sarah.
Yeah, not all at the
we
same
are all
time.
We are all the light and we are all the darkness. And I just wanted to say, too, that I agree with the depth, but I would challenge Jordan. I don't need a guru because when I get to the end of the bridge, I realize that I was a guru all along. There is no outside force needed. Can it be beneficial, helpful? Sure, because it's always good to bounce your ideas off of other people. But as far as who is the light, we all are. We are all different fractalizations of that light and that darkness, and embracing both is how you find the truth and what is, because what is at the end of the day is always what is.
Okay, let me go to Jared because I was trying to kick it off with him. Jared, you there?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
sir.
here.
My bad, bro. I was on mute talking to you on mute. Like, why isn't this guy speaking back? Oh,
Oh,
no, I'm on. Um,
it's all good.
so in your mind's eye, I mean, and you can address the question on the prompt too, but I wanted to go here with you. In your mind's eye, who or what is the light of the world?
Um, I don't really know. I don't know what that means. Like when you say the light of the world, what do you mean?
I mean, is it a light bulb in your basement? I mean, you know what light is, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what the
I mean,
world
are we talking
is.
about the sun? Like,
Is the sun the light of the world? I mean, this is your answer. It's not mine. I'm just asking a question.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people used to worship the sun. I imagine that a lot of light comes from the sun. So, well, not a lot of light. Like, yeah, the majority of the light is the sun.
Okay. There's going to be different answers to that question, Jared. So, some people are going to have a definite answer to it, and some folks know kind of where I'm getting at. But yeah, okay. The sun would be okay.
I was thinking about the prompt a little bit as well. I
Yep.
thought that was an interesting question.
Go ahead, tackle it, man.
Yeah, I think are all the answers hidden in plain sight? I feel like answers are a reaction to something, right? An answer, like if someone says something to you and you answer them, it's usually a reaction to a question. In order to have an answer, you need to have a question. So I guess you have to ask yourself if the questions are hidden in plain sight. If the answer to that is no, then I would say that answers are not hidden in plain sight.
Okay. That's definitely an approach. Okay, cool. Albert? Al? Unmute yourself if you could.
I'm here.
Who or what, Al, is the light of the world in your estimation? Who or what is the light of the world?
The light of the world. Curiosity. And curiosity is the light of the world.
Oh, yeah, we get some nuance. These are nuanced. Curiosity is the light of the world. Okay, that's okay. Different? How different can you be?
Different. Who? Different enough to be the same. You know?
That's hilarious.
But man, it's hilarious. I think who and what can be the light depending on that vibration of who and what that is. Because to vibrate at the highest is the light. But you can vibrate at the lowest and be the dark. But don't mean you can't be great at the lowest of the darkness. Because as you can see, Bitler was at his highest, but the lowest of vibration. So I think the light would be anything or any person or any who or any what that vibrates at the highest.
Okay. Noted. Miss Sarah. Oh, wait. No, you already given us a very profound answer. Universal. Who or what is the light of the world?
Hello, everybody.
Well, I would say that the monad is the light of the world, and every one of its fractals are like individual photons, right? Like they're all one light, but they appear to have individuation. And I would say, going back to the guru thing, guru means dispeller of darkness, right? One who dispels darkness. And I would argue that everyone by nature is their own guru, but the guru is the monad. And when we claim that we don't need a guru, normally, and I'm not saying this for Sarah, but I am correcting Sarah. Normally when people say that, it's New Agers. It's like spiritual New Agers who are like, they're fed up with systems. and they're fed up with orthodoxy, and they're fed up with control. And another thing that they're fed up with is discipline, right? So they'll say that, but then they will go off into woo woo land, right? Like so as a
And
person is,
woo, woo, woo. I'm sorry.
yeah, 36 chambers, right?
Yeah.
They'll go into woo woo land, and it's because they don't want to do any heavy research. They don't want to have any heavy restrictions or constraints or disciplinary modalities that could actually enable them to actualize their consciousness. So think of it this way. To be a system builder, you first have to start out as a person seeking. And then you would have to enter into some type of study or research. And then you would become a student. And then a student eventually over lifetimes can become a disciple, right? Where they actually, instead of just undergoing certain, transformations of internal barriers, like psychological and emotional maturity and getting past trauma and triggers, and being able to self-regulate, right, and so forth. Then you get into the ordeals of the disciples, where these individuals are so dedicated that now nature is testing them at a higher level. But they haven't reached a point where they can actually build a system. They're just pursuing systems that already exist from incarnation to incarnation. Eventually, you have the incarnation of an individual who has embodied the path far enough to where they've already mastered, relatively speaking, they've mastered these other systems from life to life, and now they understand those systems, and they're able to build their own system. Like Buddha, he was able to build his own system, even though that wasn't his intention necessarily, because he built it by living it, not by writing it down, right? You had scribes who wrote it down. You had people who could read and write to write it down. Jesus built the system, but he built it through embodiment, right? So other people wrote it down.
Ghostwriters.
Ghostwriters, exactly, right? So all the embodied practitioners, most of them had ghostwriters. That doesn't mean that there was never a master who didn't build a system and wrote it down. Once upon a time, the priests were scribes, and they were embodied practitioners, and they were writing down the hieroglyphs, right? So it's rare to find the two in one. Normally you find an embodied practitioner and there's a ghostwriter. Rarely do you find an embodied practitioner who can also formalize it and write it down, and then and give, either perpetuate it themselves or give it to others to perpetuate it. But a lot of people want to be system builders initially without doing the work. So they'll make statements like, I don't need a guru. I am the guru. It's like, by nature, you are the guru because you are the monad. By degree, you are also Buddha, but you haven't attained nirvana. You haven't become a Buddha yet as far as the degree goes. You're equal in nature, but you're different in degree. You're not equal in nature, equal in degree, right? The guru is said, because it's a Sanskrit term, the guru is said to be Brahman incarnate. So unless you've achieved the level where you're equivalent by degree, where your jiva is now equivalent to your atman, then you're not Brahman incarnate. So you can't name yourself a guru because you haven't attained guruship. So if a person says, I'm Buddha.
I'm sorry, hold for your round of applause. Go on.
Yeah. So if a person says, I'm Buddha, the Buddhist would laugh and they would say, you are by nature, but not by degree. That's why you're still doing basic meditations. You haven't reached a level where you can actually dispel the darkness for yourself. You need other people to assist you in the process, right? And there's never a point at which you'll never need others. But there comes a point where you become more predominantly the guru for others versus others for you. So that's why, like, it becomes a problem.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sarah.
You said that the only guru is Brahma. Where is Brahma here that we can get that assistance from?
No, the guru is said to be Brahman incarnate. Brahmin, right? Not Brahma.
Right. Okay, so where is that here in this plane that we can observe it? That's what I'm asking.
There's plenty of gurus. Just because we
How do you
don't
prove
have
it?
you prove it because the guru is able to facilitate certain abilities, right? The guru has the ability to traverse the interdimensional planes at will. They have mastery over their thoughts, their emotions, their
And how would somebody that
physicality.
doesn't have the ability to see that know that it was a guru?
By principle, by principles. There's
Yeah, but most people
absolute.
don't understand principle.
No, they don't. But that's also why it's dangerous to say, "Well, I'm the guru," because because you can't violate principle because you are principle, and the principle states by nature you are the guru, but by degree you haven't reached the level to where you can be considered a guru. Because a guru is not a title that the Hindus will just accept from anyone. In the West, you could be good at commercialism and be called a guru. You could be good at riding a bicycle and they'd call you a guru. You could be good at building houses and someone would call you a guru. That's not a term they just loosely throw around in the East. It's like calling yourself a Mashiach. That's not a term they loosely throw around. The whole principle is name what you attain. So at the end of the day, there's levels to guruhood, but only the guru is the one who is Brahman incarnate. So you have different levels of guruship, meaning there's different levels of teaching and instructors and so forth. But a true adept would be a guru. So if we're gonna say I'm the guru, we're using a Sanskrit term that you or no one else can apply to themselves. I don't call myself a guru because I'm not Brahmin incarnate. I wouldn't dare do it because I know how audacious it
master.
is in the Sanskrit.
You are a master.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that when we're using these particular terms, the ancients didn't just arbitrarily attribute the name to themselves and say, I'm the dispeller of darkness, because the reason why the guru is considered Brahman incarnate and takes on the title guru, dispeller of darkness, because they've reached the level of light that's at the highest level of maturation for a humanoid. Just like Buddha, he is the Dharma incarnate. So he takes on the title of Buddha, which is not given to everybody. And it takes many, many, many lifetimes. And they have something where there's 4 stages of nirvana, right? You're familiar with the 4 stages of nirvana? So they don't attain Buddhahood until the 4th stage. The first stage is you have anywhere between, you have up to 7 lives left, right? That's a stream enterer. And then the next one is you're a once returner. You're going to return once more, and then you're a non-returner, then you're a Buddha. So even then, they have measured, okay, where is this person at as far as their guruhood? And then they have different names for each one of them, and the Bodhisattva is right before the Buddha. So you would be a Bodhisattva before you would be a Buddha, just like you would be a teacher before you'd be a guru. So it's a very particular verbiage. It's like saying I'm a brain surgeon when you are
Well,
still cutting up frogs. It's like, nah, son, you still working with frogs in the lab. You ain't at the level where you could slice open a brain and perform a high level surgery on the most advanced organ on the planet. You ain't at that
so
level.
what I get from this dissertation is that words have meaning.
Words have so much power.
And spells. The words are spells and meanings.
Just words in general, regardless if it's spells or whatever you want to identify it as. Words in general is just, but they're powerful.
Someone might argue that every word we speak is a spell.
And that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
I don't like to
Let
use
me
the concepts that they use in TikTok because this is becoming.
Don't step on the crack.
This is becoming a trend.
That's hilarious. Different. Don't do that. That's from the 70s. That's hilarious. We used to walk down the street, not even stepping on the cracks of the concrete. Because it would do what? Right. Break your mother's back. Crazy spells. Craziness.
For me, it was if you touch the crack, you would in Puerto Rico is that you're gonna break your ankle the next time you step.
There was also the silly. It was also the silly child nursery. If you step on that line, your mother drinks wine. I'm just remembering silliness from childhood.
I remember that one.
Matt,
I wanted to tell you guys goodbye.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Leave, unfortunately, I have a client in 3 minutes, so I have to leave.
Okay. Sarah, thanks for
But
coming through
it was a
again as
pleasure.
usual.
Bye
Yep.
bye.
Hey, Mac,
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
how's it going, man?
It's going. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's having a super dope day. And if I stepped on anybody, I apologize.
Nah,
No,
you're all
bro.
good. You're all
Anyway,
good.
I've been
I'm just
studying
simply, I'm in
dreams
Los
for the last
Angeles
2 years.
watching. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, no. I'm just saying my bio. Why I'm here is because I followed you today, but I saw your panel yesterday. So I just follow. I study dreams. I've been studying dreams for the last year and a half, almost 2 years, and I'm trying to figure out if that's the key for us to discover if what's really inside of us, because the body that we have outside is just it's like a mech, like a mech. The real pilot's inside, So
You
I
know
was
what the
just
question I
figuring.
have, Mac? If I can talk
Go
with
ahead,
you
sir.
just a
Go
little
ahead,
bit.
sir. Yeah, for sure.
The question that I have about dreams, quote unquote dreams in particular, is which one is the dream? Like, is the dream this now, this particular moment that I'm speaking with you, or is it when I close my eyes? Like I'm conscious in all of those states. I'm conscious now, and I'm conscious when I close my eyes and quote unquote go to sleep. But which one is the dream? Have
At
you
least
ever
for
go
yeah, for
on?
me
I'm listening.
that's a big thank you for that question. I appreciate it, and that's a really good one. Everybody has a belief. Like I said, my belief is that where we're at now, yes, everybody calls it a simulation or whatever. I'm not going to call it that. This is our life, okay? This is our we're alive. We can see our skin and our blood, and we have certain organs that make us do things, and electricity with our brain, yada yada yada, right? But if we're going to go in a spiritual way, which I have encountered, I have started this last 2 years trying to figure out who we are or who I am, also, I figured out that I think, and remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. I think that this what we live right now is training. It's just try to survive, man. Try to survive. Eat your foods, do your exercises, drink your water, da 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 da. Your regular human stuff. Now when you go to sleep, I think that is the best version of you. That is who you are for real. That is, there's no time there, no judgment, no nothing. There's just you, and you're in control. The only time, and I don't say the word nightmare, I describe them as disruptions. You and everybody here on this panel can control your disruptions. I just recently did it. And for me, I can't stop talking about it. I literally stopped the shadows from attacking me in my dreams, as you know, as dreams. And that is a big thing because normally trying to stop something that you can't control is amazing.
Universal said he had something to add to what you are speaking on. What do you got, Universal?
Well, I would say that I guess it depends on what we mean by dreams, right? Like, if we mean that a dream is something that's fanciful, then I would say anything that we're ignorant of would be a fantasy, right? So it doesn't matter what realm we're in. If we're ignorant to the principles and the laws and the mechanics
That's
of that
crazy work.
realm,
I see
then
what
we're
you're doing right
dreaming.
here. This is
Yeah.
that's some deep shit right there. Go on, go on.
Yeah. And then I would say that on top of that, um, because we could be dreaming right now in the waking state in the third dimensional realm, right? We could be dreaming right now because we're ignorant to the underlying rules and mechanics of nature and how it functions, going back to the question on the board, right? And talking about how nature is the original book and or the
Hmm.
scroll of the creator, and how all of the answers are laid bare. But if I'm in a dream state, then I can't properly read them the same way if I was in a dream and you pick up a book and you're trying to focus, you're trying to dial someone, call someone's number, and it's like gibberish, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's not like dialing through. It's because we're not making contact with reality, right? Like, if I'm awake, it doesn't matter what state I'm in, then I'm awake. But if I am ignorant to something, even when I'm asleep, I could still be ignorant to it, right? Ignorance is pervasive, just like awareness is pervasive. It doesn't matter where you go. If you're ignorant, you're ignorant. If you unalive right now and go to the other side of the veil, you'll still be ignorant. You may have more clarity about the things that you're ignorant to, but you'll still be ignorant, right? Like, just like if I'm enlightened, I don't have to go anywhere to achieve nirvana. I am nirvana, right? And then another thing I would say is time definitely exists there, right? It may be a different version of time, but for time to exist, there has to be change. Because time
Okay,
is
so I got a
measured.
question for you since you got that. So how much time is an hour when you go to sleep?
Well, that's beautiful, right? Like, because you're talking about relativity, right? The relativity
Oh,
of
that's the
time.
relativity that you gave me. So what? How much time is in an hour when you go to sleep?
Of course. I'm not saying that I've developed a astral clock to measure astral time, but I'm giving you the principle. If you just wait, I'll give you the principle based upon, because you haven't heard this, obviously, right? So I'm going to give you something new. If you're open to it, then I'll bless you with this jewel, right? Time is a measurement based upon change. We're measuring change. So do things change in the astral plane? Do things change in the causal plane, right? Do you have spatial dimensionality in the astral plane? Do you have spatial dimensionality in the causal plane? Do you have a vehicle in the astral plane? Do you have a vehicle in the causal plane, and so forth? Of course you do. And if you do, then there is a type of time, right? Just like saying there's no time in a black hole. No, there's time because change is still occurring. That doesn't mean that just because I can't measure it, because I haven't developed a tool to measure it other than my own perceptual lens. My perceptual lens is still measuring it, right? I can shift the way that my brain processes time just by generating a particular attitude. High dopamine versus low dopamine, high serotonin versus low serotonin. That alters the chemistry of how our brains process. That alters how our brains process time. So our spatial temporal lens can be altered via biochemical fluctuations. The same way when you're in a dream, your brain is still processing the dream, and then it has a different spatial temporal lens. So when the information is being processed through the human brain via the lens of the astral mind, right? Because there's a machinery there. It's not like your astral body doesn't have a brain either. It does. As above, so below. It has a astral brain, and that astral brain is subject to change, and it's processing that change. So, and the underlying principle of change would be rhythm. So if you could get rid of rhythm, then you could get rid of change, and then you could get rid of time. But if you can't get rid of rhythm, then you can't get rid of change. Thus, you can't get rid of time. So it doesn't matter where you're at. Time will exist.
Okay, cool. Nice. But last time I checked, since I was born, I've never seen a clock in my dreams. I've never been able to see myself in third person. These are all things that people have told me throughout the day, throughout the time that I've been asking this question. But I really appreciate your point of view of that. I'll make sure to annotate that in my notes. Thank you.
Indeed. Let me let
Wait. I just want a question. You seen the clock, but you didn't recognize it, or you just never seen a clock before?
I never see clocks in my dreams.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's just another.
Hey, Moore, how's it going, Moore?
I'm going to tell you why I don't see clocks in my dreams real quick. I have a totem. I have a sand clock in my hand right now. Can you hear that? It's a glass sand clock. It has 30 seconds on it. And I just turn it here and I look at 30 seconds. So while you guys are talking, I keep turning that just to make me know that I'm here in this plane. So when I go to sleep, I can identify myself that I'm not in this plane right now. So that's a little trick that I learned from the Inception
that's
movie.
what I'm saying.
So
That's what I'm saying. The clock is there, but you just don't recognize it. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't compute in that world, but you can see the clock. It just doesn't work as it would work in the normal world. If you understand what I'm saying. It's like
I'll explain.
It's like Alice in Wonderland. You saw the clock was just like bent up and twisted.
I got a question for you, Mac. And then I'm coming to you more.
Tell me, brother.
What? I mean, I kind of asked it, but I'm still kind of stuck in the mud on this one. what gives you the difference between the dream and this quote unquote reality? What is the you just spoke of clicking the glass timer. What makes that more real than your quote unquote dream state?
So if based on consciousness, the word consciousness means that we are conscious of what we're doing and we know what's happening as for our brain, then I know that I have this in my hand. I can touch it, I can feel it, I can make noise with it. That's a solid material, right? But when I go to sleep, I can't grab stuff. I can't touch stuff. But that's based on my way of hypnotizing. I'm going to say this, keep it simple so I don't go into space words. As I hypnotize myself before bed, I'm trying to let my subconscious take over. So now we're flipping now my body's just there. I want my subconscious to take over because I want to see what that real deal Holyfield wants to do. You know, what you want to do.
I think you haven't learned.
And then my pattern. Sorry, let me finish real quick. I'm sorry. My pattern of dreams is me being a boss. It's me being driven around everywhere. It's me. Everybody likes me. So it's totally the opposite of what's happening in this world right now with me in society. I don't want to know about society. I hate humans. Meat sacks are horrible.
Yet you experience those dreams. You experience those dreams also, though. Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was.
You experience those dreams also. Like you're experiencing this conversation with us on this panel right now, but you also, in your same consciousness, it's one consciousness that you have. I mean, it's one consciousness in general, but the consciousness you have is experiencing your dreams just as well as you're experiencing this conversation, no?
Exactly. The example I can give you is trauma. If people have, and please don't take this bad, if people have weak minds, I'm not saying I have the strongest mind. If people have weak minds, their trauma, when they're conscious, moves into the dream state. Now you're going to have disruptions based on those things. What I tell people based on my disruptions and me defeating my disruptions is that's you telling you, okay, to do something about it.
I just know this. I know this, Mac. Between you and Universal, you guys have given me a new topic for the next time we come on. Which one is the dream? Like which one is the dream? Which one is the dream? Like because man, I think that's worth exploring, and it may sound a little fanciful at first, but I think it's worth exploring.
I know Treyas wanted to say something. Treyas.
The one that you can alter. That's the dream. The one that you can alter.
I have my
you can't alter nothing.
I just wanted to say this to you.
Let me get Moore in here, guys. Moore's been here for a minute. Go ahead, Moore.
No, I just wanted to say, listening to him, it sounds like what he is describing is not being able to have full control in his dreams, because I was at a point in my dreams where it kind of felt like he was floating in water and things would be happening around me, but I couldn't control myself. But I feel like after multiple times of concentrating before I went to sleep, I got to a state of my consciousness where I could control myself inside my dream. So if I see a door, I could grab that door now. I could, and it's almost like being a baby on another side, because you have to kind of grow on the subconscious level, just like you have to grow in this plane, to the point where I could run in my dream. Like if something was chasing me, now I'm not just running. I can run through that door in my dream when something's chasing me. You see what I'm saying? Or let's say I wanted to fly.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. So and
flying is the ultimate. If you can control flying,
yeah, I can control flying in my dream, but I've been practicing that since I was a kid, but I've been getting chased by the same thing in my dream since I was a kid, because certain times I have different dreams, right? And then it's other dreams that terrify me. Those are reoccurring dreams. And it's every time that dream comes, I have to find a different way, right? And through that repetition, I've learned to become better.
So my theory on reoccurring dreams is something that you're missing.
Go ahead. I just meant the reoccurring dream as a point of reference, because the point that I was going to say was try to get to the point where you can exist in both planes at the same time. Difference said moving from your dream state to the conscious state, but the next level above that is being able to
This
exist.
is what I call that Dreality, and that happens to be the name of my motion picture company, Dreality Motion Pictures.
Where it's not.
Reality.
These are facts. These are facts. You can go check out my new television. Shameless plug. You can check out my new television show on Amazon Prime right now. Mac, let me Mac. If I could just do my shameless plug for my new television series, produced by Dreality Motion Pictures. It's called Left or Right. It's about internet dating. It's on Amazon Prime right now. You guys go check it out. Okay. I have to pay my bills too, right? Everybody got bills. Go ahead, Mac. I'm just saying, don't drop. I mean, well, drop and go check out my show. But go ahead, Mac.
Wait, what is it? What is it on? What is it on?
It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Left or Right.
Make sure to check Left or Right on Amazon Prime by Opinion Nature.
I love it. And I will be using your voice, okay, as a promotion. Appreciate it. All right, I'm sorry. So go on. You were saying.
So I was just gonna get to the part where I know there's a lot of opinions and stuff, and everybody. I feel I'm nobody to tell anybody what to do or anything, but if your warriors are out there, if this is a message like Optimus Prime, and this is my Luju sending a message out there to all the people that believe. Before you go to sleep tonight, take 10 minutes and turn off everything, all electronics, stay away from mirrors, just go to bed, man. But before you do that, try to close your eyes and focus and imagine yourself as the dopest version of you that you have seen in the past or in the present. For example, I imagine,
this is a thing.
you know who's 2016 me is fucking amazing. So 2015, 2016 me, super fitness guy, army soldier, ready to rock, you know? So that's the version that I imagine. And that helps.
Indeed. Let me let my man Carlos into the conversation. Los, Mr. Billionaire, what's going on, bro?
What's up, baby? I'm looking at first of all, I'm looking at Left or Right on Prime right now. I'm looking at the cover art.
I'm done.
The cover art is beautiful, bro.
Thanks, bro.
And the discussion of manifestation. I'll just tell you that I just came upon it about 15 years ago, and my life changed when I understood that frequency, Planck's constant, mass, energy, the speed of light, that all of these things were preludes to the consciousness that exists in the particles that make up all of existence across the dimensions, whether you can see them or not. And the moment I realized that I was the creator of my reality, that I was the designer of the existence that I'm living in, I would take Mac's advice and say, don't look at a mirror. But when you look at a mirror, hopefully you get a hand mirror, okay? And I want you to think of yourself in his badass state. Whatever your badass state is, doesn't matter. I'm telling you, I am living my best life. I'm not even I'm living my best life. And I'm just telling you, look in a mirror, look at the reflections, and have your subconscious see yourself multiple times telling yourself the same thing. Do it for 10 days. Your life will change. It will change.
It's changing right now because basically what you're saying is what I'm doing, but without the mirror stuff, because I think that if you imagine yourself without looking at a reflection, I think you have a better way of how you look at yourself. I don't know. That's just me.
To each their own. I'm not telling you how to live. I'm just saying to you that for me, the business that I've built, on the material level, but then the love that I feel from my friends and my family, and the love that I feel for myself, right? That self-love is the hardest love to attain. It's the hardest love to attain, right? Because you will think you're loved when you get the outside affirmation, but when no one's around, how do you feel about yourself?
Yeah, I'm digging it. Hey, let me get to Extra Celestial. Extra. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Extra, chill out. I'm coming right to you. Dep said he had something on the dreams, and then I'm coming right to you, Extra. I promise. Go to Dep. Adept, you there, man? You gotta unmute.
Oh, damn. Yeah, no, I got caught up really quick. I had someone asking me a question. You could give me like 1 minute and then I'll do it.
Okay, cool. So Extra,
Bad timing.
I just wanted to say in
Extra.
that 1 minute that I like to be the positive and the negative. I like to be the all. So I don't like to, even in my worst, I think I'm at my greatest, and even at my greatest, I think I'm at my worst. So I look at myself as everything.
I love it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Extra. How are you, Extra?
I'm alright. How are you?
I mean, you need to be extra. What do you mean? You're all right. You should always be extra.
I'm always extra, but extra all right is just meh, and I don't like that word. So.
Extra all right is crazy. I'm extra all right. Okay, cool. Hey, so good to hear you. Good to know that you are in the place to be. So, what do you think about this topic? You can deal with the prompt question, or you can deal with the dream scenario that we're talking about. What you got?
I'm gonna talk about both. I'll make it quick for both. So, as far as are all answers hidden in plain sight? No, but sometimes I feel like there's no bad answers. They're just not proper for the time. So everybody has an answer, and it may not be proper for that moment, but the next thing you know, the answer that was used yesterday was today's answer, even if it wasn't yesterday's answer. Also, I really want to say something back to Mac, the guy above me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
Macaco,
is
a mysterious
impossible
monkey.
to. Yeah, you. It's impossible to not see yourself in the mirror because literally everything around you is a mirror. We are attracted to things because they are a part of us.
That's
Oh
crazy word.
no. Well, okay.
Oh
Let me
wow,
correct me.
she
Give me
went
10
deep.
seconds.
She
Give me 10
went
seconds.
deep.
Start
Yes, she
counting.
did. She
No,
did
that's
that.
fine. I know that everything is a mirror. I'm saying don't be around a mirror when you're laying down. So if your room has a mirror, then that's your fault. I have mirrors in my room. What I'm saying is stay away from the black mirror. Stay away from being online and stuff like that. Clear your mind, clear everything. Just dark, clear. That's what I was referring. I know there's mirrors everywhere. I understand that.
Mhm. I was just thinking because that was the one thing that just had me. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I
Wow.
understand, and
Wow.
that's the part, and that is
On
the
the
part,
huffing
and that
side, Ariana Huffington.
anyway, I apologize if you
I'm up to
misunderstood
it.
what
I
I
had to
said.
come out.
Thank you for being so cordial when correcting. I really appreciate that. I don't get that a lot, so thank you so much for understanding where I was coming from. I know there's mirrors everywhere. What I was trying to refer is stay away from your phone, stay away from looking and all that stuff. Everybody has different things. That's what I do. I sit in
But your
my
phone
living
is a
room.
reflection of you,
I know that. I know
right?
that. Well, that's what I'm saying. I put my phone away. I put everything away before I go to sleep.
Say word. Hey, Dragon.
Ready when you are, by the way.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, Deb, I'll come right to you. How's it going, Dragon?
Very well. Very well. How you been?
Hey, man. It's I'm in Southern California. It was a beautiful 80-degree day, and WW3 is happening downtown. So I don't know. It's kind of it's like heaven and hell. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy all over, man. I think everybody, some of us have taken the wrong color pill, so to speak.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It tastes the
Man,
rainbow. It's
Bad
Skittles.
choices.
Taste
Taste the
the rain.
rainbow.
Hey, different. Knock it off.
I still
Yo,
want to.
taste the rainbow is crazy right now.
I still want to speak to the prompt when you get time, though.
Okay,
Go,
of
go
course,
right
of course,
ahead. Go
more.
right
Go
ahead.
ahead, Dragon. What do you got for us, man? What do you think about this prompt question?
Let's see. Are all the answers hidden in plain sight? No, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say that. Mm. Personally, I wouldn't say that all the answers are hidden in plain. No, some answers you
So,
have. Some answers you have to try the fruits of different trees, so to speak,
mm.
to get to the true answer, right?
Not the fruits of the tree. Mm.
I
I
like
like
it.
bananas myself.
There you go. Oh my goodness, my cat is
We're
calling
in a
me.
metaphoric tsunami. Okay.
Look for tsunami.
Even the
Okay, Dragon,
tsunami
hang
is a
out, man.
metaphor of tsunami.
Yeah, hang out,
So
man. I'm going to let Adept talk to us about some dreams.
Yeah, so basically, I was just gathering the notes that I had from one is from the Gnostic tradition of which I'm initiated into, and the other is a Hermetic tradition that I'm initiated into. And so I want to try to piece them together and see, show how they kind of correlate. There are little differences. So the first one, so during physical sleep, you have the vital body or the etheric double, which remains with the physical body, but the astral body detaches. And most people enter the astral plane unconsciously, carrying their psychological aggregates or their ego, which projects illusions or fantasies onto the astral matter. What most people call dreams are really confused perceptions of real events in the astral world, distorted by the ego. Now you have types of dreams. The first, you have mechanical or egoic dreams. The description, they are chaotic, symbolic, emotionally charged, and repetitive. The cause, they are products of the subconscious, projections of psychological aggregates such as lust, anger, and fear. The second type of dream is karmic dreams. They are recurring dreams with deeper emotional impact or prophetic like in nature. The cause related to karmic lessons, warnings, or past life residues. The third type of dream is an astral experience. These seem more they seem more lucid or hyper real. They involve travel, communication, or teachings. The cause, authentic astral projections, but are often forgotten upon waking. And then the fourth is a lucid dreams or conscious projections. Their full awareness during the dream and ability to act consciously, the cause, results of spiritual practice and awakened consciousness. Um, so dreams reveal the psychological state of the dreamer. So you have our egoic elements such as lust, fear, pride, envy, etc. continue to live and act in the astral plane during sleep. By studying one's dreams, one can detect which egos are most active, allowing for targeted inner work and elimination. Dreams are a mirror for self analysis, and if used properly, an opportunity for initiation. Now, the second part that I was getting at, um, according to the Hermetic tradition of which I'm a part of, there's several categories of dreams, de- depending on their cause and vibrational level. The first is a physical body dreams. The characteristics, they're fragmented, sensory based, and incoherent. The cause, disturbance in the body, such as digestion, temperature, noise. Second is subconscious dreams. They are symbolic, disorganized, emotional in tone. The cause, reflections of suppressed desires, fears, or mental habits. The third type of dreams, psychic and astral dreams. They are vivid, luminous, or coherent experiences. The cause, experiences in the astral realm and may involve communication or learning. Then you have spiritual dreams, which are highly symbolic, instructive, and inspiring. Oh no, where'd I swipe? Hold on, I swiped out of it. Let me find it again. Oh, there it is. uh, and the cause contact with higher planes or inner planes features, and then prophetic dreams, which are previews of future events, and the cause is either karmic visions or higher plane insights projected into the subconscious. Let's see. So the key purposes of dreaming include processing subconscious materials such as desires, fears, emotions, then astral learning, studying at temples, receiving guidance from advanced souls. You have karmic recall, experiencing fragments of past lives or future tendencies. You have psychological insight, which symbolically representing inner conflicts, and spiritual contact, communication with one's own higher self or master. I'll kind of just land my plane there for right now.
Bong,
There's a lot more, but yeah.
bong. Well, let me get to more because he said he wanted to address the prompt also. So get it more.
Are all the answers hidden in plain sight? I would say yeah.
So how do we decipher it? If everything's right there for us to see, but we're walking right by it, how do we decipher?
I think that's the problem is you have to be taught what to look for. Sometimes we're always taught to find what's hidden instead of sometimes stumbling upon what's right there in front of you. Even geniuses who have like their moments of clarity, usually the thing or the truth was sitting there, staring them right in the face. You know, even the tree was put in the middle of the garden. You know, so the truth was pretty much staring him right in the face. It was just for him to make the decision or the choice of, well, you know, and symbolically to go over there. But it's kind of the same way in this reality because our world is built on symbolism, you know, because humans are ideographic people. So we like pictures, places, and things. It's just that sometimes at the same time, people are sheep, right? So people are usually born blind and they don't have the gift of sight. Majority of all of us in this room were put on knowledge because we either stumbled upon it or somebody opened our eyes when we were asleep and introduced it to us. And somebody taught you that was the symbol of Hermes Trismegistus. Somebody taught you what the double-headed snake going up the staff of the American Medical Association actually meant. Somebody taught you what the Christmas tree meant and putting presents there, that's a Fuhrer tree from Germany that they used to hang heads on for ornaments. And every time you reach under that tree, you're bowing your head to a pagan god. Somebody has to teach you all of these different things or the different symbologies from all of these different esoteric teachings and religions so that you can see what's right there in front of you. So yeah, the truth has always been hidden, but some people have the sight to see better than others. And I think as you ascend, right, because I don't think that there's a place you come to, right? I think that we are lifelong students on this earth, experiencing different phases of living, understanding, and growing, and meeting people along the way who gives us different accesses to different levels of knowledge. And we take that and we apply it, and then we learn how to break things down and create and teach others. I don't think there's like a point, not necessarily like a point of destination, but I think it's ever growing, ever evolving, because who I am right now consciously and spiritually is not who I am consciously and spiritually 10 years ago. You see what I'm saying?
Got it. Yeah, yes,
I'm
sir.
with you on that. I'm with you on that too.
Solid. Hey, Carlos, man, I got a question for you, Carlos.
Yes, sir.
What does government mean?
Government mean?
Yeah. What does that mean?
So we I'm gonna assume you mean now. And not like how it came to be what it means now.
Well, if I can be more specific, just what is the general word? What is the actual word government mean?
It's a body. It's a body of people that have come together to administer and manage and adjust rules and taxes so that the group of people that are a part of that body and the folks that they govern function. That's the belief anyway.
The belief.
That's the belief. Yeah. It's the belief, and you'll notice that I was a bit obtuse because it's not the same definition around the world, right? Or you would have just one world government and that would be it. We were close in the 90s. America was a hyperpower, and pretty much all the knees bowed to the US. That's not the way it is today. So, you know, it's
Okay,
been
so it's basically a group of people. Is the belief is it's a group of people that um, pass legislation, et cetera, taxes. This is what you gave us, yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how it functions. But
Okay.
if you could just give me a moment, I would just say that before it was just me and you, and I would be like, hey, and then you needed something into me either helped you or killed you. For those that were like, okay, we should help each other, we became a body. Then we decided over the eons what we would accept and what we wouldn't accept. And the difference between what we accept and what we didn't accept was geographic. The people over the mountains were the enemy, right? The people on the other side of the forest were the enemy. And then we realized, you know, this is the problem. This is some of the issue with tribalism back in Africa, right? Like, then we realized it's not really us that have a problem on the other side of the forest. It's those people on the other side of the water. And so now we've got to put together a system so that we can manage ourselves and fight against those people over the water. And then it just expanded. But really it's supposed to be an empathetic body that pools together the resources of the like-minded for the benefit of those in the body. It's not that today, but that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. Let me go to Dragonfly. Dragonfly, same question. If you can unmute yourself. Same question for you. What does government mean? What is the definition of government, Dragonfly? You there?
It's like
Finish that peanut butter and jelly, man. Did you bring some for everyone, bro? Come on.
I was out there making ice cream cones, and I flicked my camera on. I guess you didn't see me. I was offering everybody ice cream
We didn't
cones.
see the ice cream though. We saw the camera, but go on. What do you think about the definition of government? What does it mean to you? What is the definition of government?
Well, people that have wielding their sword against people that necessarily don't have what they have at the moment. That's what it is.
Okay. Remember, our topic is things that are hidden in plain sight. So I'm gonna go around and I'll give you my take on it. But different. I'm coming to you, Celestial. Different. Are you there? Different.
Of course I'm here. I've been waiting here patiently, you know.
Hey, man. What is the definition of government?
Oh, the definition of government. I think it's just a group of people just governing another set of group of people. But the government that we have here is more of like a corporation, you know, with the social security numbers and all that stuff. So they design themselves more like a business more than a government. But what the government is supposed to do is to govern the people and make sure that the people are getting their way of things through votes and you know, ballots and stuff like that. But, you know, what's happening and what it should be, two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Govern.
I'm digging it. More?
Govern.
Are you there? More?
Govern.
Don't let it go yet, Dragon. We're gonna wait till the end. We're gonna get to it. Don't worry, we're gonna get to it. More? We're gonna Dragon. Hold on for a second, Dragon. No, we all good. Hold on for a second, guys. Let me go around the room. More? You there? More?
Yeah.
So what's your take on it? What's your definition for government?
Like it's almost like a body, or almost like an uncoiled snake. A body or a system in place to control the masses, people in general, of how they function, how they think, what they can unlock and what they can't unlock. And it's almost like a system of suppression, a system of suppression and order, you know, like an orchestra. making sure things function and go in a certain way that it's programmed to go, and not necessarily giving access to a free will or freedom of choice of discovery, because the government doesn't allow you to think freely, and it doesn't teach us free will or information, because if it did, we would have more self-control over us. Like, we don't have control over us. Our subconscious and conscious thoughts are programmed, so therefore we don't go looking to do things that would elevate us as humans or mankind. We go looking for flaws in each other and judge each other the same way that the government looks for flaws in us on our everyday living and finds a way to like charge us for being wrong, through criminalization and punishment, and, like, I guess taking that and kind of putting us in cells and draining us of our energy, right? Because that's what the government does. It turns us into slaves, and it kind of like binds us and locks us down. And yeah, that's what the government is to me. I'm sorry, I was going too deep.
Okay. No, you're all good. You're all good. We're gonna spread it around. Mac.
Hey, what's up? So I don't know if you heard me in the beginning. I worked 3 years as a police officer in the island of Puerto Rico as a state police officer, so that's government. And I also worked for the U.S. Army as a reconnaissance scout, all 10 years. So the government for me is the last boss in that video game that you hit it and you hit it and you hit it and it's flashing and it's going and you think you're winning. Nah, you're not winning, bro. I'm sorry.
And they
The hit points to this monster are infinite. The ability of this monster to control the masses is immediate. This is the most scariest thing, and I worked for it. So if anything has to do with the government, I spit on the floor, because I did 10 years for them, and I went to wars, and I did things that I wasn't supposed to do, and I still did them, and I'm still here, messed up, no therapy, the VA's over here looking at me like I'm nothing. You feel me? So I can go with the sob story all day, okay? The Army created a weapon. You forgot to turn it off, homie. And now the world is going black and white. Uh-oh. No more gray area. Okay, so for me, the government is the monster that you can't defeat.
You mean green and purple?
Green and
purple.
Got it, Mac. Got it, man. Hey,
Thank
man,
you, sir.
I hear
Thank
you.
you.
Hear you loud and
Thank you.
clear. Hear you loud and clear. Celestial, then I'm coming to you, Pickens. Celestial, define the word government, if you can.
They're the ones who were hired to govern they were hired to govern our mental back when the mental was the strongest component of the body. Now it's phasing out, but I'm
No, I'm
sorry.
listening.
When the mental was becoming the strongest component of the body, I guess the people came together to hire the government to govern their mental, to make sure that people were not, being, I guess using their power to manifest things into existence that were unnecessary and stuff like that. They built an entire society around this government, by the people, supposedly for the people, and it became more of a power move than a power support, and now it's a power struggle.
Got it. Pickens. Unmute Pickens if you can. Pickens.
Yep. Hey.
How's it going, man?
Hello. Doing all right.
Good to hear, man. So what do you think? We're talking about the definition of government. What is your definition? In your estimation, what is the definition of government?
I believe it just goes back to Latin. Govern mind. Governmental. Mind that backwards. But
So you're the only one that kind of went for the actual definition. We've had some admitted understandings that it's believed to be X, Y, and Z, but no one actually went for the juggernaut, for the etymology, dare I say, of the word, except for you, Pickens. You came in, Slim Pickens. You came in at the last point and took all the pickings. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the word has a meaning. Universal Theory was speaking earlier about guru, and not how the word guru had a definite meaning, right? It's different than master. And government literally means, we know what a governor is. You know, you have it. Some of us have it in our cars. A governor. A governor is to control, right? These are things that we can look up. This isn't, my thought process. This is just Webster's dictionary. To govern is to control, and ment is the root word of mind, mental, mind. So when you put it together, as Pickens has illuminated, it literally means mind control. Now, if we understood that government, well, let's put it this way. If they said mind control over government, would you have a different feeling about it? Would you have a different feeling about when you go and quote unquote vote, which I must tear the Band-Aid off of that concept, because if you go to the etymology of vote, it means to wish. Now, again, don't believe anything I say. Go do your research. But the word vote means to wish. And then if you pay attention to what's in plain sight, sticking to the theme of today's panel, the Electoral College in the United States actually elects the president of the United States, right? Where the people go and vote 30 days earlier. Again, vote means wish, elect means elect. So, in essence, you're voting, you're wishing in an election, right? It's like playing basketball on a football field, right? Where do they do that at? But these things, to the prompt's suggestion, are hidden in plain sight. Just two examples of things that are hidden in plain sight. The idea that we are under a government willingly, we're under mind control willingly, right? Again, we once we look at it for what it is, government literally means mind control. So you're under a mind control, literally, and then you go and you vote for the mind control, which means you wish. You go and you wish for the mind control, and then 30 days later, the electors from the Electoral College elect the president. And I can tell you what I know. There's no one on this panel that knows who their electors are. I'd give you $1,000 if you can tell me who your electors is or who your electors are in your state.
I quit voting on November 30th, 2013. That's when I stopped voting.
I could actually take it a step further.
And they forced me to vote. Okay, when I was in the Army. Let's say this real quick, and Pickens, you can have it. Going with the government thing. Let's say I went on a Monday and the elections, I have to fill out my election paperwork by Friday. Between Monday and Thursday, I'm doing more push-ups than I'm supposed to because I have sergeants and lieutenants being influential with my vote. Oh, vote for this guy. Vote for this guy. Vote for
whistleblower.
I don't give a shit. It's the truth. Why is a whistleblower the truthful thing?
It's the power.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
But see, that's what I was trying to say. It's in plain sight, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
for the next 4 years, you're picking the mind control program that you want for the next 4 years. This president over here, if you vote for this Republican, you're going to get the Republican mind control program, which is going to be war, because you know whenever it's a Republican in office, it's always war, police brutality, racism, the economy, and this, that, and the third. And then when it's a Democrat in office, it's usually Social Security, Section 8, LGBT rights, different types of social issues, Social Security, I forget all the other stuff, but each one has like a different program for the next 4 years that is going to be pushed upon you, and it's going to be your oppression. That's what you're going to wake up and see on the news every day. That's what's going to be the headline of the day. like Trump
This
and
is
the
the first
Torahs.
time I feel good to be a felon. I can't vote because I'm a felon. I
It's
can't.
hilarious.
Sorry.
Oh
This
wow.
is completely hilarious. This is comedy, top tier comedy.
Well, I
Humans
could
are
I
so
could
dumb.
take
They don't. They
a
don't.
step
Go ahead,
further.
Pickens. Go ahead, Pickens.
I could take it a step further and to let you know that they actually already told the public that on a news station they already said that a 7th grader found out that she was looking up her lineage because she's related to Obama. She ended up finding out that all the presidents are related
They are related.
to each other, except Martin Van Buren is the only one that's not related to any of the other presidents. It goes all the way back to a king in England.
It goes back
So
further than that, bro. It goes back to the original, not even the original families of this country, but the families that predate all the way back to Sumeria and Babylon. These people, there's the government is like the blanket level preschool. There's people above the government. There's systems and families above the government. That's why you have to be conscious so that you could be aware of these systems and ruling classes that are oppressing you from reaching your higher.
Rothschild.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
We got
right.
indigo children out here. You know, we got star children out here. We got all different types of generations of enlightened beings that come down to this earth to try to wake us up, bro. And they don't want to see you woke. They don't want that. They don't want your human consciousness awakened and you manifesting things and getting back to the original truth and the source.
Hey,
And
can I say something before I go? Can I say something before I go?
It's in plain sight.
I gotta go.
People just don't accept it. They can give it to you. Here, hold this, and you still won't accept it. They put it on TV. They put it in books. They put it on the internet, and people just still don't accept it.
I want you guys to know if you wanna. I'm a '90s kid, so I listened to music in the '90s. Before I leave, thank you so much for having me here and on your panel.
Thanks for coming, man.
No, for real, it's awesome. This is such an awesome panel. There is a song by the artist, well, there are 3 artists, but it's called The Real McCoy. It was one of those trance music things in the 90s. But listen to the message of the song. It's called Operator, okay? Like the operator that picks up the phone when you call.
Yeah.
But guess what? That's what I just told you, and that's not what it is. That's not what it is. When I listen to this song, I've been listening to this song since I was a kid, but now that I listen to it, now that I had my little eye opener, if you know what I mean.
Now.
Oh man, dude, please take 2 minutes and 33 seconds of your time and listen to The Real McCoy Operator, and then you're gonna say, what? Yes, this dude was on point. So anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here, Mac.
Yes.
Thanks for being here, Mac.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys.
Don't forget Rage Against the Machine too, bro.
Oh yeah,
Rage Against the Machine. Never forget about Rage. I mean, listen, Rage, Public Enemy. Come on, man.
It's their title,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
It's their title, man.
And there we have it, gentlemen. There we have it.